Positioning yourself as a professional speaker means that you show up, you speak, you have a monetized talk. You aren't just sharing your story, but you're sharing a transformation that the audience can do something with, and you're packaging that up for a buyer and asking them, what's your budget for speakers, so that you are your first offer.
All right, awesome. And actually, I'm gonna stay with you, Brittany, because one of the things that you do well is get people to look for new opportunities where they didn't see them before. Talk to me about some of the opportunities that people in this room can learn from you to elevate themselves to get to their first or their next six figures.
Yeah, I believe one of the biggest missed opportunities for founders is not leveraging the power of paid speaking. You are your best marketer not only because you're wearing your brand on your shirt or on your bag, but because your most powerful asset is your voice. And for some of us, we're not leveraging the power of public speaking, we're not leveraging the power of positioning ourselves for paid speaking to do business with our individual clients, but also if we aspire to do business with bigger companies. So if you are an entrepreneur that's sitting in the room and you want to do B2B deals, you want to do six-figure deals, get to that six-figure mark with one invoice, that's possible, and one of the ways that I've been able to leverage that kind of access is through public speaking. So positioning yourself as a speaker, knowing that LinkedIn is not only for when you're looking for a job, but I have a good friend that says Instagram is for the show, LinkedIn is for the dough, whatever platform you like. But there are big buyers, corporate buyers that are on LinkedIn, so positioning yourself as an expert on that platform has been one of the ways that's really helped me to grow my business.
So even if somebody say, they speak all the time, maybe they speak at church or they speak at work in their career and their job, they can do something to position themselves for more money and getting paid better?
Yeah, there's public speaking, that's anytime you're talking to anybody out in public, and then there's professional speaking, meaning you get a check for that talk that you just gave. And so positioning yourself as a professional speaker means that you show up, you speak, you have a monetized talk. You aren't just sharing your story, but you're sharing a transformation that the audience can do something with, and you're packaging that up for a buyer and asking them, what's your budget for speakers, so that you are your first offer. Could be a course, could be a paid digital download, but it could also be your talk that's positioning you for bigger deals.
Okay, and then, y'all, I have the pleasure of having the both of y'all on this panel because I'm gonna talk to Charles over here, and you all were able to do some business together. Shout out to the people in the room who do business in the room, okay, and circulate that black dollar, right? And so, Charles, what do you see is the biggest headache that people have? Oh, does he have his own cheering section back here? Oh, somebody has signed up for the mastermind? All right, celebrating you. Yes, y'all give them some love. Charles, what is the biggest headache that people come to you with that you're telling them, you don't even have to work this hard, I can help you?
I mean, it's automations of all sorts. So I've had 8-figure companies that were trying to automate fundraising and getting people to buy tables to big fundraising events. I've had people like Brittany, it was webinars, and she had a show that she was trying to do, and she was trying to sell tickets on that. So I mean, any part of your business that can be automated, like Clay was saying, automation, websites, it's like having an employee that just works 24/7, 25/8, just doing stuff all the time and rarely messes up.
Oh, I like that. Doesn't make too many mistakes. So when people come to you, because we talk about automations, we hear it, we say automate, but most people don't really know how that's gonna help them in their business. They know they need to get a system. When people come to you and you get to take the headache away, what do they get to do instead?
Well, like I opened with, they get to step into their zone of genius. They get to do the revenue generating activities that they should be doing as a CEO. A lot of times people try to pinch pennies and Negro rig things and use Scotch tape and bubble gum. And they're like, it's a headache.
They're gonna catch that on the replay, okay?
Yeah, but it's a self-imposed headache that you don't have to live through. And people.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just say a self-imposed headache?
Yes, yes.
Raise your hand if he just stepped on your toes.
All right, 2 weeks ago, I met with an MD. She spent 12 hours working on one part of one automation, and it was still wrong. So it's like, you should be seeing patients. You should be doing whatever else, not that. So stop doing that.
And how long did it take you? She spent 12 hours working on it, and it still wasn't right. How long did it take you and your team to fix it?
I mean, we fixed it on the call in 10 minutes, but like...
10 minutes?
But-
10 minutes, you say?
But there was still a lot to be done, and there was no time. Her launch was the next day, so we couldn't fix everything in one day, but what she got on the call for, we fixed in 10 minutes.
But I just want to make sure I hear from me, just myself personally. Forget the audience for just 1 second, y'all. 12 hours she spent to make the wrong decisions,
Right.
and in 10 minutes in a consultation, you were able to solve that problem through automations. Is that accurate?
That's accurate, and yesterday we saw that I think Toyin showed us that the most powerful commodity was time. The most important commodity was time, and as a physician, I mean, you don't have a lot of time, and probably shouldn't be wasting your time doing that.
Yeah, wasn't that a nugget, y'all? Yes, give him some love for that. So this actually brings me to a lot of what you do, Erlina, and I love this because when people need to automate, there's some things that people need to automate, and then there's some things that people just need to hire for, right? And they come to you and they say, Erlina, I don't want to be dancing out in the videos with my social media. How do I get likes? How do I get these people to come and follow me? How do I get them to buy from me? And you say what to them?
So one of our primary services that we offer, I would say 98% of our clients are Black women, professional service providers who are absolutely the best in the world at what they do. I mean, we have clients that, they're working with the biggest brands, they're doing the biggest things, many of them who are in a room and are amazing. And one of the things for them is it is a time. They understand that, time is actually significantly more valuable than money. And so what they don't want to do is they don't want to be playing around figuring out, how to do their social media when in fact it's not converting. So you can make all the content you want, the clips, the reels, whatever the case is, but if it's not speaking to your target audience and there's no strategy behind the marketing, then it's not going to make money, right? And so they come to us when they're like, hey, listen, we want a return on this thing, right? We joined the mastermind, we want the return on that investment, what that's going to look like, right? But it's the same thing with social media and all the different things that you're doing. I believe that marketing should make money. And if marketing is not making money, marketing is being done wrong. And usually what I'm telling the clients is your marketing is done wrong because, you're doing marketing tactics, right? Posting on social, sending the email, sending the text. But what is the strategic part behind that? What's the revenue that you actually want to generate? And then now, we can actually do those tactics and actually come to calls to check those KPIs to make sure that those tactics are actually generating us money.
That's a nugget. That's a nugget. Market is not just to be cute, right? It's to be profitable. And I love that you said that. And so what is the biggest obstacle to our community getting to use marketing for profit? Because we out here, okay? We making the content, but especially when we're talking about women and how we charge, what's the biggest obstacle that you see to getting people to monetize the marketing, to really make it make sense and make money?
That's real good. So one of the things I like talking about a lot with my clients is their pricing. Right? I say that, a lot of, especially Black business owners and women in particular, right? There's a study that went out that said, the average Black woman-owned business makes $24,000 a year. And I personally believe that they're not priced for profits, right? They're charging way too less, for their services, right? They're not even considering the fact that, okay, in the corporate world, right, I had benefits, right? I had sick time, I had time off, I had all these different things, right? And so they come into entrepreneurship and they're like, oh, I just want to help, right? You know how you got that job and you like, yeah, I'm gonna show up early, I'm gonna stay late, all these different things, and you come to entrepreneurship begging people to pay you for your services when you're the experts, because the clients I work with, they best at what they do. They got the masters, they got the certifications, they got the experience, they got 300 reviews. But you like, yeah, it's $2,000, right? And it's a no. And so that's one of the things. It's like you have to begin with the end in mind, right? Stephen Covey is like, okay, if I want to make this much revenue, right, and this is the price of my service, how many clients do you need to be able to do that? So if you're not back into that, and it's not a strategic thing on all aspects, then that's the biggest thing I see with, you know, marketing to actually help you to make money is that, like Ronnie said, you're pulling prices out of the sky.
Yes.
So.
Okay, and now that's good though, right? So that's a nugget because you can't just pull the prices out the sky. You have to do the research. But I'm thinking to myself, well, there are people who walk around and they post it on their social media using hashtag, I know my worth, hashtag, level up, hashtag, hashtag, hashtag. And they still like their bank account is going, it's not enough, the bills are still here. What is that way that they need to be focused on to get the leads, to make the marketing work, to transition? And I'm really picking at the fact that you have a really awesome system of getting, with a lead magnet, of getting new leads for you because you have premium prices, right? You're not afraid to charge. So what are some of the things that people here can do? Yes. All right, somebody leveling up, hashtag leveling up back there, right? What are some of the things that people can do right now today, right? They can take the strategy that you can share and they can think about ways to implement in their business to get those leads and to take that attention that they have from this attention economy with the marketplace and social media and translate that into leads for sales.
Yeah, that's really good. And so one of the things that I think people do wrong when it comes to marketing in their businesses is that they actually create the product or service first, and then they go to the marketplace and they say, here's my thing that I came up with in my closet, in my room, and I think it's amazing and you should go ahead and buy it, and that's absolutely the wrong thing. And so what it is you need to be doing is you need to actually go to the marketplace, see what the problem is, see what the need, talk to the people that you want to actually work with, see what their pain points are, like what are the things that's, you know, keeping them up late at night, whatever the case, what is the thing that they're stressing about, all of those different things. And then after you have actually went to the marketplace and had that conversation with those people, then now you create the offer based on their need, based on their pain point, not based on the fact that you think it's a great idea, right? And so the first thing you do is if you want to sell, let's get like 5 figures today. And so 5 figures today, right? That's just like a $10,000 sale at the right at the lowest, right? And that's real low, right? But $10,000 today, you know, that could look like, hey, like what are some issues that you're actually having, you know, in your business, right? Relevant to your expertise, that type of thing. And then now I'm going to package and position this so that this can be a $10,000 offer. I think a lot of times people, you know, they think about $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 is a lot of money, and it's really not, right? So your service can be $10,000. How many service-based businesses in the room? Raise your hand. It's a lot of y'all, right?
Yes.
So there's no reason why y'all shouldn't have at least $24,000 offers out here, right? And so, but we can start at a $10,000 offer. But you know, you go to the marketplace and you actually see what problems they actually have, and then basically what they say to you, that's what you write down verbatim. That is what you say. What do I say in my content? What do I say on the website? What are the people actually telling you? They're telling you their problem. You say it just like that in the copy, in the lead magnets, in all the things, in the positioning when you're on the sales calls with them. And yeah, you start at 10,000 service providers, start at 20,000, 30,000. One of the things, the biggest shifts for me in my business to actually get to consistent 5-figure months is when I decided that, you know what, I can no longer charge 2,000 and 5,000, whatever the case. It's $30,000 for our done for you services. And either you want to work with us or you're not. Like we're the best in the world at this. Like I have a master's degree. I'm about to be Harvard certified in digital marketing. Like if you want to work with me, you do. And if you don't, then I mean, you can go to somebody else. But I'll see you later because I'm the best at what I do. So that type of thing, and have that type of confidence, have that courage to say that this is the price. And if you don't want to work with me, I mean, you could go to, you know, that mastermind up the street around the corner. They don't got no people, no way.
But it won't be the best as what you can provide, right? I'm going to take a couple of questions for the panel. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and line up now. Brittany, I do want to ask you something because that's really great, because clearly you all, not just the 6-figure panel, the multiple 6-figure panel, right? And that has come from recognizing how to price, getting your strategies right. But Brittany, you were saying you're on the verge of that 7 figures, right? What are you planning to do to get across that line? You're in progress, you're in motion, you have clients, you're doing the work. You're not sitting at home watching paint dry. People out here are doing the work. What are you doing to take yourself to the next level that they can learn from you today?
Wow. So let me add, because I'm going to be doing this too. I think who in here sells to companies? So the other marketing tip, to add to what Erlina said, I think another mistake is too many founders make yourself the hero in the story, and you're not the hero in your message, you're the guide, especially if you want to do business with bigger businesses. So be the guide, position yourself. So don't make all your content about you and what you've done and your results and look at my snapshot of my bank account. Like, how are you helping your buyer create the transformation? So one of the things that I'm gonna do to get to 7 figures, man, I can't believe I'm about to say this.
Come on,
But
tell the truth.
tell
the truth.
I was getting dressed this morning, and I was feeling
Take a
some kind of
moment.
way about being on this panel. I cannot believe I'm saying this on this stage. I am so grateful. I am so grateful, but I was feeling a way. Because I know that the reason why I'm not on the 7-figure panel is because of me. It's because of being comfortable where I am. And this morning, as I was getting dressed, the Lord was dealing with me on being grateful for where I am. He's like, I can't move you to where you've seen a glimpse of where you want to be if you are resentful about where you are. Not recognizing that where you are is major. And so for me, it's a bit of a humility lesson in gratitude, because you see the glimpses, like you get the divine glimpses of where you're meant to be, and that can, if you're not mindful, can keep you in a space of being resentful about not being there yet, not recognizing that where you are is actually part of the puzzle in getting there.
Yes.
So being grateful about where I am, being committed to taking action, to taking massive, imperfect action. Shout out to Liz J. Simpson. She's not in this room, but she's an alumni of this brilliant community. And so those are the 2 things that I'm going to be doing when I go back there and renew my membership for year 2, lifetime member, okay? Being grateful and doing the work, because the information is here. There isn't Harvard, Tuck, all of that, phenomenal. Like, I've been through some Harvard programs too. There's not a better community for next caliber level education for Black founders than this, hands down. Hard to beat. So I need to get into the portal, do the work, execute, and be grateful for where I am.
Yes, all right. Listen, and that was a divine moment, and I'm glad and proud of you for taking it, because people need to know that it's a journey. It's not, I'm gonna get rich quick. It's, I'm going to do the work. I'm gonna take my education and expertise and turn that into wealth, because I can, right? All right, thank y'all so much. So we've got a couple of questions in the audience. I'm gonna start over here with Dr. Tracy.
Good afternoon. Thank you, panel. I am Dr. Tracy, America's burn surgeon and co-living expert. And my question is actually for Brittany. So if I look at the things that can generate the most money the quickest, in my circumstance, it seems like speaking would be the thing. But how do you transition from speaking for academics, where you speak for free, to transitioning to the corporate realm where you're actually getting paid money to do so?
Ooh, great question.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. Positioning is my short answer. Positioning and mindset. So the first thing I would tell you is academics have money. So I've closed 5-figure speaking deals with universities. So a lot of it has to do with how you're positioning yourself as not only an academic, but as an expert and a professional speaker. The language matters. Oftentimes I'll lead with not just CEO, because sometimes, depending on the room, that doesn't mean anything, or that's not giving you enough. I'll lead with, I'm Brittany Cole, I'm a keynote speaker and the CEO of Career Thrivers, because I want you to know you can't just book me to speak to talk about what I do with organizations, but you can book me to speak because I am a professional speaker. So even using the language of keynote speaker is a differentiator in how you're positioning your expertise in that space. And then the second thing that I would tell you is in your process. So when you're having that discovery call, making sure that you're positioning, what is your budget for speakers? as a top question in the form, on the conversation, signaling to them that you're not coming just for a gift card and a fruit basket, but you need the invoice paid before you hit the stage. So I would tell you those things. And then LinkedIn, I cannot say enough about LinkedIn as the place. You can close speaker deals other places too, but LinkedIn as the place to position yourself as a speaker, because B2B corporate executives are looking for thought leaders on that platform specifically.
Thank you.
Brittany said, you can keep your little fruit basket. I'll buy my own when you run me my check, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Coming over here to MM.
All right, good afternoon. My name is MM Washington, and thank you. And I'm a keynote speaker. Thank you, Brittany, for that. I'm a keynote speaker, and I'm the CEO of Lead, Speak, and Impact, where we help leaders share their messages on the stages that matter to them, especially the TEDx stage. My question is actually for Erlina. Erlina, one of the things that I struggle with is I'm not showing the testimonials, the results that I've been able to get from my clients, and I'd love any creative ways or any suggestions on how to do that other than, hey, look, see what my client has done. Any thoughts on that, please?
Yeah, and so there's many different ways that you can do it. I do like case studies where you can actually do live videos. It can be a recorded video with you and your client, and you actually have your client actually say the thing, share about like the experience actually working with you. And so the one thing about content is that it can be presented in many different forms. And so they can actually do it written, right? You can actually have them actually share that content like over a video, right? They can share it over an audio, right? And so it can be like a cute little video of you walking and it's super excited that, my client just sent me this recording, and, they press play and they hear what your client says. And so there's different like creative ways to do it. But I do want everyone in the room to do it. I was just talking to someone about this yesterday that, when you go to Amazon, right, you're looking at the reviews. When you go to Google, when I go out to eat, I'm like, let me see the pictures and see what this pizza about to look like. Do I want it or do I want it, right? So like that type of thing. So it's definitely important for you to do that, because whether we know it or not, like we're looking for like the reviews, the testimonies, we're looking for what other people have said before we make those decisions. So definitely do it in those different creative ways. So it can be audio, it can be a video, it can be written, and it don't have to be you actually saying it. It can just be, hey, my client actually shared this and I'm super excited to share this with you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yes.
Hi, my name is Lexington from Chic Bracelets and Chic Wear by In Style, and our bracelet business is where me and my sister make all our bracelets from scratch, and they cost $1.99.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn from Chic Bracelets and Little Miss Travelers, our YouTube channel. And also we're first-time authors on our book called Little Miss Travelers Around the Globe.
All right. Give it up for the babies writing books.
And our question for you is, do you guys have any tips or advice on how to grow your business?
Oh, that is so beautiful. Shout out to these young people who are in here this time. This TFP Live representing.
Listen, I have a 16-month-old son who's at home with the best husband, right? And so I just love you both, okay? I just love kids and all the things. And so to grow your business, the first thing that I would do, you said you have one has like it's product-based businesses, so one have bracelets for $1.99, and you have the books. If you're, you have the permission of your parents, of course, right? And you're able to do like, YouTube or any of those different things. But one of the things that for the bracelets, what I would like to do, if you're selling them online, then product photography is important. So taking pictures, like really good pictures, so you can get a box, like the little white box off of Amazon, and actually put your bracelets in there. Or like they have like little bracelet holders and things like that. So take like really cool videos and pictures of those bracelets on the online space. But if you got those bracelets, which you got bracelets right now, those $1.99 bracelets?
Yes. Yes.
You having what
she said?
So,
Yes.
you know, you got a room full of buyers of them bracelets. I'm gonna buy some of them bracelets, okay?
Oh,
So that's how
yes.
you gonna grow your business in this conference space, right? The same thing with the books, also photo photography for products as well. And then also, I believe as far as the marketing, the message around it, like why the bracelet, why your bracelets, what's the differentiator, like in the marketplace, why your bracelets, why should they buy from you? Like, you know, that story to just get people excited. So what's a story about behind the book, behind the bracelets that we can actually buy into that? But
No, that's great
Little
advice.
bit-
Actually, Brittany, really quick, can I come to Charles? I want to make sure, because I feel like there's a good automation story in my spirit that these children need.
So, first off, I applaud you guys for being so young and chasing your dreams at this young age. So, I know you're young, but you can automate at this age. You guys can set up a Shopify store. You guys are probably actually more capable of setting up automations than everyone else in this room.
Did he just call us old?
Right, no shade.
No, but
Hey.
seriously, you guys have the mind for it. So, like, you guys can set up shops on Amazon. You guys can set up shops on social media. You can set up a store on Instagram, on TikTok. I forget what's her name, but she just sold $1 million for the first time. And a black lady, she's from to Huntsville. Anyhow, sold like $1 million on TikTok. You guys can do this. So set up stores on social media. Set up all your automations on Shopify. You guys can use AI to write your emails. So like, even though you just may be learning how to spell, you can use AI and it'll write it all for you. That was a joke. I know you guys can spell. But like, you guys can really do it. And don't give up. Just don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up.
Oh my goodness, Brittany.
I just wanted to-
for them.
I just want to
Thank
make sure
you.
that the room heard the name of their YouTube channel so that we can all go and subscribe. Little Miss Travelers.
Yeah.
So
Little
we
Miss
all want to
Travelers.
subscribe. They already have a YouTube channel. It is bustling. And continue to own the power of your voice, because there are adults in this room who have not gotten to the mic yet. So you all are on camera, y'all are on the mic. You're already doing the things to grow your business.
Brittany,
so keep
could
going.
they be keynote speakers?
Absolutely. They already are. I love it.
Because this is public. They speaking in public.
public.
That's what you said, right? All right. All right, we have time for one more question. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Happy Justice. I am 22 years old. This is my second time here at TSP, and I'm very honored to be here. Yeah, I'm a makeup artist. I bring out beauty through flawless makeup so you can wear the confidence that you deserve. So my question for you is, what would I do best to monetize the moment of, while doing my client's makeup? What would I do best to do that?
I just shared
Arlene
this.
about to jump out her seat like,
I am, because I just shared this to the person who did my makeup today, and she was asking me like, Erlina, how can I create a $20,000 offer for my makeup? And I was like, you know what you need to do? How much money did you, make with that makeup last year? She said, I made like $250,000. I was like, listen, $25,000 offer. Teach people how to, start their, how to do their makeup, how other makeup artists, like actually how to grow their businesses and things like that. But for you, how to grow your makeup business is one of the things that I actually pay for, and I'll pay for again, right? Is the classes, right? So those virtual classes, and try to figure out how you can make money just without your time, right? So when you're actually not like doing someone's makeup, but how can you actually sell one to many? So can you do a class with, everyone in the room, a bunch of women in the room who want to get, their makeup done. So, right, so over Zoom, right? Be on YouTube, right? Because them YouTube makeup channels be popping. So that type of thing. Yeah, like Brittany said, don't give up, be consistent with it. And then just, always be thinking about not just like when, how can you make money once you're actually doing someone's makeup, but how can you actually record that, or how can you actually have a session, or how can you actually have a coaching business, right? So you can do actual services, you can do coaching, you can actually have courses about how how to make that eyebrow pop, like that type of thing, because that's something I would buy. So.
All right, awesome. Hope you got that great feedback and took that nugget. So I have one last question for you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have one last question for you all before we, exit the stage here. Is for everybody who's sitting out there who wants to be on this stage, who wants to get to their first or their next six figures, who's thinking even about will the mastermind help? What are you recommending that they really consider at this moment? What should be their takeaway from your story? Charles?
Well, I would say it's the cost of waiting. So I only join rooms where like I can serve the community. And so you can either stay where you're at, or you can, like Brittany said, take massive imperfect action, put yourself out there, talk, circulate, and try to make things happen for you. And when you actually get some actionable data, actionable information, take action, and don't give up. And if you'd like to find me, you can go to sessionwith.me, and I'd be happy to help you in your automation journey.
Awesome, awesome. Erlina?
So one of the things I believe is that when you are exposed to more, you expect more. And so what you have to do is be very conscious about bidding yourself in rooms and communities where people are doing what it is that you want to do. And so, you know, you have multiple 6, 7, 8-figure business owners like in the community, right? And so, and they stay in the community. They're winning in the community. Like this company has the most 6 and 7 and 8-figure business owners that look like you, and so that's super important. And so what I would do is, make it intentional. Like, can I be in the rooms? Like, can I be on the calls? Like what can I learn? And then lastly, what I would say, what to do is when you're going after multiple 6-figure years, is try to do that in a quarter, right? Try to set your goals for a quarter. If I can do 6 figures in a quarter, right? And then even if you hit $60,000 a quarter, that's already $240,000 in a year.
I love that. And I love what you said about community, though, because the three of you all were at the same 2-day quick start when you first joined the mastermind, right?
Yep.
And have built relationship outside of that. It's beautiful. Brittany?
Yeah, so 2019 was my last day of work, August 19, 2019.
Woo.
I was a sales and marketing leader at Pfizer, and I was making a 6-figure salary. And what many entrepreneurs don't realize, if you are working a 9-to-5, that the reason why you are in an FTE, there's a full-time employee role that you are filling, is because the company has forecasted that you provide 5x that to their bottom line. So your role impacts the business in that way. And so that same belief that your employer has about what you can produce in your title 9-to-5, you need to cultivate that kind of belief in what you can produce for your bottom line. So I would say 5x your expectation on what you can do in your business.
Wow. You all, let's give it up and celebrate and thank our panelists.